What's up, y'all? It's your boy back again, Brother Phil, Soul of a Nerd, coming to you from the humble abode here. Checking in real quickly. It is Friday, July 8th. So, what that means to a lot of us MCU nerds, at that time again. Pulp. This episode is brought to you by Pulp Smoothies, Juice and Smoothie Bar. I just finished this. This is the Raging Raspberry or something like that. It's got a Red Bull in it. And we've also got this guy. Hey, look, say hi. Say hi to the people. Look at the camera. That's the doggy. What up? So, see you later. Anyway, I'm just checking in real quick. Thor: Love and Thunder is opening today, or probably a lot of people saw it Thursday night. Here we go. So these are my pre-game thoughts going into this movie, which I expect to see tonight. I think I'll probably be checking out a 9 o'clock show. It is 6:06 right now, so we're like three hours away. Here's what I'm gonna say. I haven't been on in a while, so I really would have been talking a lot about these thoughts I'm about to express previously, but I haven't even really been posting. I've been really busy with other things, music career, my teaching job, things like that. So let's just start by saying, oddly enough, the announcement of Thor: Love and Thunder back in 2019, it didn't really excite me that much. Here, I'll just start here. I love Thor Ragnarok. Like, it's in my top 10 MCU movies. Did I have some issues with the tonality of it? Yes. It's not perfect by any means. I think I might have given it an 8.5 or something like that. I don't know if you can hear that. It's summertime, motorcycles. But I would say it's aged well. I've watched it fairly recently. But just off the top of my head, if you just ask me randomly, how do I feel about Thor Ragnarok? I'm gonna say I loved it. I was super amped for that movie when it came out, and again, for the most part, it lived up to its hype. It was definitely my favorite or anticipated and favorite movie of 2017, which was the year we got Justice League and Wonder Woman and Spider-Man Homecoming and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And back then, Thor Ragnarok was my most anticipated, and it turned out to be my favorite movie of that year for superhero movies. That being said, because of some of the things that were tonally questionable in Ragnarok, again, it does have its flaws, that there's a lot of serious things that are kind of undermined by the humor. And not just humor, but like really kind of nonsensical humor, I guess. But this is the thing I think, and this is just my opinion. I feel like Thor Ragnarok was really cool in 2017 until Endgame. I blame Thor Ragnarok's tone and Taika Waititi's direction and tone that they took Thor in. I blame that for Fat Thor in Endgame. And I am not a fan of Fat Thor. Like, the Fat Thor scenes, to me, especially, on replay, they're kind of cringy. Like, I really don't care for it. When I saw Endgame in 2019, my two biggest complaints with that movie was Fat Thor and, the Professor Hulk. I didn't really like how Thor and Hulk were handled. I mean, basically the two most physically powerful, brutish characters, which personally I have a bias for. I love those characters. both gotten kind of nerfed and watered down, and to me, that's like intentional. That's the decisions that Kevin Feige and those upper ups have decided to make creatively in that movie, and it allowed them to focus more on story, I guess. So this is some of the reasons why I don't necessarily care for Endgame in my top 5 or anything like that. Matter of fact, I have Ragnarok ahead of Endgame in my mind, to be honest, or they're like neck and neck. But and it's definitely why I strongly prefer Infinity War to Endgame. Like there's like Infinity War and Avengers and Black Panther and Captain America Civil War and Captain America First Winter Soldier and Iron Man in that top echelon. All of those I'll take ahead of Endgame. You know what I mean? So to have that big of a gap between two movies that were supposed to be similar in terms of their greatness and magnitude, that debate is for another time. I mean, it's not even a debate. There are a lot of people who like Endgame better than Infinity War and vice versa. They're so connected, some people just look at them as a package, but I distinctly prefer Infinity War over Endgame. So that being said, yeah, I thought about this over the last week, like why I haven't been that hype about Thor, Love and Thunder, and I just go back to the fact that I wasn't that excited about the announcement because I'm like, oh, Taika Waititi's back. So on the one hand, that's cool because, they made a great movie with Thor Ragnarok, but it makes you nervous. So I was a little leery. Basically, it created some trepidation about him, getting another crack at where's he going to go, especially like that whole thing where when you have this hit formula that came out of nowhere, when you try to repeat it, you see what I'm saying? Things like Ace Ventura, Bad Boys, Men in Black, Friday, those kind of concepts aren't easy to you notice most of those I mentioned have comedic elements to it. And they're very original, unique concepts when they came out. It's sometimes hard to just make a sequel and capture that formula again without, or Guardians of the Galaxy for that matter, without coming across a little redundant or derivative in the next one. So that's my biggest concern, or it was, and it still is, with Thor: Love and Thunder. I love the idea of seeing Natalie Portman back because I just love her, period, as an actress. Jane, yeah, I always liked Jane Foster. I'm not one of those people who felt like she was dispensable and blah blah blah. I thought she was cool. I thought they used her well, but obviously I can look back and say they definitely could have done better with her as well. But she's just such a presence on the screen for me personally. I didn't really ever find her character to be, disposable or anything like that. But, bringing her back in this regard, I'm not hyped about a female Thor or anything like that. I'm not a big fan of, I don't care if they are comic book, accurate or source from the comics. I'm not a fan of those type of derivative characters where you got to pass the mantle on to somebody else. I don't really care for Sam Wilson being Captain America. I mean, I'm going to watch it, but that, again, that stuff doesn't excite me. One, I didn't follow it in the comics. So give me my traditional character. So, I don't have the reference to enjoy the storyline of Jane becoming Mighty Thor. I mean, even that sounds stupid. He's already called the Mighty Thor. So why is it Mighty Thor making a difference? Give her another name. It's like, to me, Thor is this dude's name. It's his birth name, ain't it? It's not just a freaking title. Now, Captain America is the title, Anyway, I am looking forward to She-Hulk, though, even though I don't care for derivative characters. But She-Hulk I'm looking forward to on Disney Plus, which is right around the corner in August. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing that storyline. The Guardians are going to be in this movie, which was pretty obvious from the ending of Endgame. So I'm interested to see that. But I mean, realistically, the Guardians, they're kind of out of sight, out of mind for me. It's been a long time since we had it's been 5 years since we saw them in a movie of their own. And their parts in Infinity War were pretty good. In Endgame, obviously, most of them were dusted. So, it's nothing really that exciting to see about it, but I'm looking forward to it. Christian Bale being in the movie is dope. I love Tessa Thompson. So, there's a lot of positives going in. It's just nothing that's ooh, I can't wait to see this the way I felt about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, or the way I felt about Spider-Man No Way Home, for that matter, or the way that I'm feeling about looking forward to seeing a Fantastic Four reboot or Blade reboot. Those are movies I'm more looking forward to than this Thor movie. So it's like kind of a weak playing field, because I was probably looking more forward to Thor: Love and Thunder than I was Shang-Chi or Eternals, because those are new characters and none of them really seem to excite me that much. I would have probably said Black Panther, Wakanda Forever would be highly anticipated, but there's so much lost in not having Chadwick Boseman. That movie's kind of for me. They're gonna really have to blow me away with their trailer or something. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of, so let's get to that. Once the Thor: Love and Thunder teaser came out, I did love that. That first teaser was great with the Sweet Child of Mine theme going through it. The visuals, it's like, okay, it was like a good introduction to that world, that visual world that Taika Waititi brings, and that kind of tone, and just letting you know, okay, this looks like Ragnarok, but it looks, I'm gonna say, maybe I don't want to say bigger, but more expansive than Thor Ragnarok. There we go. The storyline looked bigger. How about that? Or looks more broad, something like that. Just from that original teaser. That was without seeing Gore the God Butcher, which, by the way, again, I don't know anything about Gore the God Butcher. The people I follow on YouTube who fill me in on this kind of stuff, all of it sounds good to me, and sounds like an interesting character. And Christian Bale being the actor that he is, I'm like, okay, villain wise, okay, I'm in. So then the next trailer came, or the true trailer came, and it was good. I liked that. Again, showed you some humor, introducing Gore, so you got some a little darker images. So I'm gonna say, like, visually, the movie looks kind of just out there. Taika Waititi's style, like this movie and Ragnarok. I remember when Ragnarok came out, they said he was trying to do Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't see the color palettes and tones. They're not really the same in my opinion, but the cinematography, like, there's some weird stuff in there. They like had that Sin City black and white kind of vibe in them scenes with Gore the God Butcher. So I think that's gonna be kind of funky to see. I'm looking forward to that. So to kind of now bring us up to date, yeah, I'm looking forward to this movie because of the visuals. I enjoy Chris Hemsworth as Thor. Dude is funny. He's a good actor. I mean, he's perfect in his role. And like all those other characters, I said, I want to see what they're up to. But there's still this underlying feeling, and I've since now checked out a few what do you call those, reactions and reviews. Not too many though. Looking at the Rotten Tomatoes numbers, I believe it was at 69% or something like that. And just some of the things I've heard from some people's reviews, they're not the most enthusiastic. They're definitely not saying that it's better than Ragnarok. And then you've got some people who are really I'm hearing people mention the things that I'm most afraid of, really. And that is, the movie, it doesn't look like it's gonna be. It looks like it has the potential to be tonally imbalanced, which will be amazing. If it's not, hey, I'll be right back here to say that. But in a way, I shouldn't really worry because again, Taika Waititi has shown he can do it. Ragnarok, for one, again, I felt like it was okay. It was balanced to me, but I can understand how some of the humor just felt out of place. Jojo Rabbit, what's that called? Yeah, Jojo Rabbit. Love that movie. Just went to see it on the Humble. I remember the year it came out. If I'm not mistaken, it ended up winning an Oscar. I didn't know at the time, but I went to see it just because I wanted to see him do something outside of and I thought it looked interesting. And Scarlett Johansson's in it, and I pretty much watch anything she's in. And I thought that I loved that movie. That movie is great. If it won an Oscar, I know it did, or somebody, he won director. Maybe it wasn't best film, but I think he may have won best director. Let me pull this up. Did Jojo Rabbit win an Oscar? Look at that. Ha. Comes up in the Google search. It won 14 awards. So, including an Academy Award for Best Adapted Screenplay. All right. So, either way, I feel like it won more than that. But this was a great movie. So I should trust him with his ability to do tone. Those other movies like What We Do in the Dark or something like that, I still need to go back and watch those. I'm teetering. I'm cautious about, he's good with his tone, but I also know people, even who are good at what they do, when they try to go back to that formula, go back to the well, it doesn't always turn out that great. And then, what I'm saying, they just try to push the funny button harder. Looking at the scenes that they showed in there with Zeus and stuff like that, I don't know what to make of those. I'm going to be honest. Those looked weird to me. Russell Crowe as Zeus, and he sounded like he had an Italian. He sounded like a old fat Italian jolly man or something. It seemed a little weird. I'm going to give it a chance. But I'm just letting you know up front, it seemed a little weird to me. Those scenes, I have a feeling, may be my least favorite scenes just because of the way they look, the tone of the battle, and it felt like it was going to be highly comedic or something. And I'm going to be honest, it looked a little bright, just weird. But I may end up changing my mind when you're in that movie theater. You know what I'm saying? You see it in its full finished form. I actually kind of said that about some of the stuff I was looking at from Doctor Strange, and now I don't even think about that. Like it was too weird colored, or too bright and cartoonish. I remember thinking some of the stuff in it, and that's what I'm thinking about this Thor: Love and Thunder. I guess that's really it. I'm looking forward to this story. There hasn't been a lot of spoilers, which is dope. So I really don't know much about what to expect from the storyline, except that he's on a journey, self-discovery, and then somehow Jane gets back involved. I do want to mention, I remember that there is a TV spot trailer where he's got that big helmet on, looking all goofy, hanging over his face, like when Jane first shows up or something like that. He's like, Jane? Like, I hope that scene's not in the movie. And it's funny because one of my favorite YouTube channels, John Campia, he brought the same point up exactly. I mean, the same exact point. He echoed my exact sentiments. Like, what in the world? Garbage, horrible tone of acting, of dialogue, directing. Who let that go? So I hope that's not even in the movie. It's just they need to watch themselves with Thor before he borderlines on buffoonery. That's my biggest thing. There are people out here who they feel like they've ruined him. I'm not that person. I'm just saying, be careful. I'm not embracing every little goofy thing y'all push this dude into doing, dialogue-wise, whatever. Body, what do you call that? Body language, mannerisms. You know what I mean? Don't take him too far from this stoic dude he was in the first movie. Well, he wasn't really stoic. He was actually very a lot of bravado, and I've argued he didn't change that much. Like, this dude was a little meatheadish and a little false bravado and a little, like I said, meatheadish even from the beginning. He just didn't allow himself to look goofy, and I think that's what has evolved, which is fair to say. That can actually happen with people's personalities. especially after what he's been through. So I hope something about the way they write this movie reflects that. Um, I've heard good things about Gore the God Butcher's story and how well it's done. I hope that turns out to be the case. As far as I've heard, Taika Waititi, I believe, said it's the best villain ever in the MCU. Of course, it's his movie. Let's see it. I hope so. It looks like it has the potential to be. So that's that. I will let y'all know what I think, but I do have my concerns, and it's just mainly around comedic tone, goofiness, and just whether the colorful, bright, cartoonish look of it is going to bother me, you know. And if it's some tonal issues, because Gore seems like it's going to be dark and gothic, maybe, which is, I guess, gothic can work with a comedic tone, because look at Tim Burton, who's a genius. So that might be what Taika Waititi is going to go for, because it is kind of hard to imagine the way Gore the God Butcher looks and Christian Bale's acting, that you expect him to be damn near Christopher Nolan character, you know, with makeup, in a movie that's kind of zany, and that may not work. So hopefully that does work, and we'll see what happens. You know, it's just weird to me that I'm not more excited about this movie, and I gotta be honest, I'm not. Again, I haven't even heard any real rave reviews about this movie yet. But who knows? I may watch it and be like, what the heck was wrong with y'all? This movie's freaking phenomenal. You know, I might actually come out and say that. So we shall see. And I will be back with some kind of reactionary video. It could be late night tonight, or I do have a little show, concert, hip hop show I'll be going to after that movie. So maybe I'll do it in my car while I'm on the way there. I could definitely see doing that. And then I'll post that to my YouTube and my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Yeah, Soul of a Nerd. And then, yeah, same thing. So I think, yeah, Soul of a Nerd. No, actually, it's capital SOUL underscore of underscore A underscore nerd, capital NERD. So that's on Instagram. But I guess if you were to look that up, my crap will pop up in the search anyway. So I may look at the X-Men. That's what I'm talking about. I gotta find my Marvel shirt. But yeah, I probably will post something and, you know, quick reaction and post it to my IG as well as my YouTube. So that's pretty much it. I have my concerns. I'm not hyped, but I'm ready. You know, that kind of feeling. Yeah. Like I said, it is. The problem is, it's not because of, like I said, the lackluster reviews. It's just that's what happens when you hear lackluster reviews on a movie you already were concerned about. You see what I'm saying? It's a different thing. Because see, I've heard some lackluster reviews on Doctor Strange before I went to see it, and I didn't give a crap because I was excited to see Doctor Strange. You see what I'm saying? I heard lackluster things about dang it, what is it? Captain Marvel, and that didn't bother me because I didn't have high expectations on that, you know, that kind of thing. Same with Eternals. I didn't have high expectations on Eternals, and I was hearing lackluster reviews about them. But Thor is, you know, it's more sensitive. So when I hear, I'm already seeing things that I'm questioning. So it's like every concern I had going back to 2019 had a little bit of validation or, you know, substantiation by looking at the stuff that I've seen for this movie leading up to it. Although there's been other great things, like, I mean, at that time we didn't know Christian Bale was going to be in it. We didn't know Russell Crowe was going to be in it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's been kind of like hit and miss on terms of the things that have developed since the movie was announced, and there's enough of it that makes me concerned. So, although, again, I'm going to be honest, the trailers are good. They're very good. The trailers are very good, but it also still feels like one of those situations where the stuff we're seeing in the trailer might be the best stuff, or maybe not. Just it may be misrepresentative of the movie itself. and I hope that's not the case. Marvel hasn't done that yet. You know what I mean? They haven't had a movie where it's like, man, these trailers were deceptive. You know, that's Sony's job. Hello, Morbius. Man, boy, oh boy, them trailers for Morbius look dope. And that movie freaking sucked. Anyway, I'm sorry. I ain't even supposed to be talking about that. I don't even want to give them airtime on Morbius. But yeah, that's all I got. I'm out of here. See y'all in a few hours. Put some comments in the comment section. Don't spoil it, please. Although I'm not going to be looking at it, so if you want to mention things about this movie, if you've already seen it, and confirm some of my fears, or dispel some of my fears, do it in the comments, because I'm not going to be looking at this again. I promise you, until I've seen the movie. Like the video, please. Share it. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your thoughts.